Where his game's at, that is the ultimate compliment for surely the
Zombie Apocalypse.
greatest player ever to pick up a cue. That's the trophy. Mark King, Mark Williams, and of course Judd Trump for the last 2 years has got the better of O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan wouldn't start a match as favourite, but there's very little in it, and I've spoken to a lot of people.
They were dead level at 5-all. Trump winning 6 of the 9 finals, and Trump responded by winning 3 straight frames. In contrast, in last year's final, very welcome for the reigning world champion.
9.
Yeah, I agree. He has to start well. There are some great matches, but you can't help remembering that Masters. Saying that'll happen again, but it's happened before. That much we do know.
15.
It's that wonderful match. Sullivan cleared the colours. It was a great game. So there have been lots of great matches. This is the next. The Trump shot was not a very good one. He hit the middle pocket on a fairly average.
Fantastic final blue to win the frame on the black, but a routine pink goes astray for O'Sullivan. So just 23 points from that chance. World-class players. There are bound to be nerves in the early stages of a final.
Thin blue, going to control it with a nudge. Well, he's played it pretty.
7.
It's the perfect performance in the round before against China's Gao Yang. Of course, he made the maximum 2 other centuries, but against Bracel, he had to dig deep in the final before winning in the decider. So
the reds surrounding it are really going to make it very difficult for Judd to make this into a frame-winning chance. Those reds are going to be winning and losing in this frame, I think.
19.
Well, of course, he officiated the world final for the first time in the summer. At 30 years of age, the youngest.
The other way instead. That'll do him. That's a nice bonus. And interesting one, you know, because really, if he'd have pot favourite last night, but the O'Sullivan money has come in, no doubt, from his huge amount of fans. Hit the wrong side of it. Either way, he's given Trump a chance.
1.
It's a much more difficult shot than the blue, but with more at stake. The cue will just...
Trump 4.
Two-cushion glance on the loose red. Keep one behind the yellow somewhere is the plan.
Oh, miss. Miss.
Wow.
Trump.
How close did he get to that? Yeah, so deciding that it's a more dangerous option. He's got to convert it to a frame winner.
1.
A chance to do so where the balls are.
He is. Shouldn't be a problem. But it was a problem. Enough for him to miss.
Good trump. 1.
Not sure how a straight shot, but it didn't look great.
It's probably important for O'Sullivan, given that he's lost his last 3 final meetings. From behind, of course, he did it against Ding and Carter.
16.
One of the great Crucible matches.
That's a very good breast shot. I thought that it would be. It was near the cushion.
$32.
Well, there's very little pocket to aim at. Don't blame him. Played safe.
Ronnie-O'Sullivan 30.
Tense opening frame, this.
Before he hampered himself on the pink, missed the straight red. Super attacking, don't necessarily look to play a safety shot if they can avoid it, but they're both very adept at doing that. So their tactical prowess.
Top left. A great view of it. No problem.
5. 11. In the first frame.
A dramatic start to our Northern Ireland Open final. Judd Trump taking the first on the pink. O'Sullivan had a chance to steal.
Not leaving a red to the right corner, but he's left one instead to the left corner.
He has, of course, won a record-breaking 37 of them.
Fortunately, top jaw.
You never feel comfortable until that first frame is on the board, and of course he lost the first to Grace last evening. Before having won it, Trump will now feel a lot more comfortable and looking to build on it here. For the first time, we're going to be showing the first round of the UK Championship before, of course, the tournament really gets underway in earnest next Saturday. Trump, of course, looking to make it 2 out of 2 in this series. No £1 million bonus this year to win all 4. He has become the most prolific of winners. 6 ranking titles.
Off a little. He went up the table. Well, by moving the red, gives him a chance.
$36.
Getting towards the right jaw. As we look. Straightened it up.
$52.
Trump looking to emulate Hendry and winning 3 of the same on the bounce, as he did back in
55.
but
55.
These are the kind of frames that you can steal, which perhaps you should have lost. Gone through a gap. Anything would have been okay. Even hitting the blue would have been better than nothing. Screw into them now, I think. Decided against that.
Ronnie-O'Sullivan.
Trump looking to swerve around the black to pop this red.
Foul.
Oh, and he's missed it. Goodness me.
Ronnie-O'Sullivan 7.
Here we go.
1.
Well, chance to put the brown safe here as well. Make the task even more difficult for O'Sullivan.
Judd Trump.
Yeah.
Foul limit.
This makes no difference. It's there, and he only needs the black to go with it.
Earlier in this frame. No, he's missed another one in exactly the same spot.
He's so good at shots like that. He gets such a high percentage.
1.
And of course, it looks like 2-0. And never let it slip.
Judd Trump. 8.
Ball, of course. To be going the way of the world #1, and these are the frames that really count.
I'll be honest, I'd like to, when we get to the mid-session, the shot that he played there, putting Judd back in the red over the pocket. The frame from there, but in pulling the red, he gets a colour safe. Kind of gets an even bigger advantage. At the moment, it's gone now.
Well, there'll be nothing unusual now. Players have had chances in both frames, but Trump has prevailed in both of them. It's actually 6 snookers to win the frame.
It seems when you play O'Sullivan, you just got to put all the balls so there's no more on the table. Then you can start the next frame.
Chance to test his long potting with that black. For the world champion, 2 tight, tense frames.
10.
He's certainly applied himself to every shot he's played, right from ball 1.
Foul. 3.
And frankly, I'm sure he won't care because he's 2-0 up. That's all that matters. Of course, it wasn't decisive. There were a few twists and turns thereafter.
4.
Cause for concern for O'Sullivan fans. The next frame, given the way Trump has been playing in the last 2 seasons, he's going to take some catching if he builds a sizable lead.
Yeah, it doesn't even appear that he has his practice. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but he's not obliged to set on frame 3 in doing this.
Sullivan, 18. Second frame, Judd Trump.
O'Sullivan mops up the remaining colours, but Judd Trump had long since won the frame to lead 2-0. Victory in the decider over Barry Hawkins. Mark Williams beating Yan Bingtao by the odd frame And two absolute crackers, of course, in the last 2 years. Trump prevailing. 9 is the magic number. Selby and Neil Robertson, who also have 18 at the moment.
Tense. They would usually be.
1.
And with it, the big breaks. In a couple of weeks' time. How big a celebration will it be?
5.
Party or whatever. No one's having a party at the moment, but that's a different story.
Wow. I think another one, and he's achieved that. That's a terrific recovery.
Off a very obvious position, might be able to get on the pink.
I need a moment here, please. $27.
Vital, you would think, that he stays with Trump. And he's missed that red, which was one of the easier pots of the break. Final. Another great red, though.
1. Ronnie-Sullivan.
Played that well. I mean, you can do no more there. He's trying to play a big part in this match and not just try and tie Trump up. It really doesn't work. You've got to get in there and score. That's all that's going to hurt him.
He's had a stroke there.
Any rewards yet?
1.
It's well played. Interested to see which colour he plays on here, because he put.
7.
I'll have to play it now.
Plenty of work to do, but there's no one better in the game than Trump at
Nine. $17. $25. Yeah.
Went for that.
at some stage when someone gets to 9. Oh, it's a great pot from Trump to keep the break going. Safety in mind.
First good snooker on the red from anywhere down there. Probably play on it, but this is not on this table this week.
Judd Trump, 36.
Well, relief for O'Sullivan that he's back at the table, even though the red went safe. This is such a big frame now, early in this final.
You just sneak through between yellow and blue here, hit it from behind.
Oh, I miss.
Oh dear.
Judge on 5.
It's all gone wrong there. Had a few instances of balls needing to be replaced, and it's been done efficiently and swiftly. Take 2. This time O'Sullivan does hit the red. Oh, he's potted it. Wow.
Frame this is turning into as well.
After that slice of luck, it feels like a must-win now for O'Sullivan. He can relax into it. It wasn't clean though on the yellow, and that's why he's lost the cue ball.
In behind the brown here. Playing the pot.
Ronnie-O'Sullivan 6.
I need some help here.
Big shot. And he missed it by a margin for Trump to come back.
It was definitely a good opportunity there. Tried it.
Not again, surely.
3.
Oh, my word.
I think that the thing about the shot,
But he's potted the all-important blue. Well, Ronnie O'Sullivan will be breathing big slices of luck here, and he needed them. Badly needed this frame. Barring snookers, he's got it.
Ronnie-O'Sullivan.
Trump will not be playing on for snookers. Let's look at the latest odds. They couldn't be split longer for O'Sullivan had he lost that one, which he could easily have done. But that's a good opening red from Trump.
hit by the green here. Just shaved past it. Great shot.
Seven.
Otherwise you might just play on the loose one. Not a favourable pack of reds there to go into.
$21. $27.
You can see there's red right in the middle of that bunch, which pots to the left corner, which
$41.
he's not won the frame yet, but this is the first real tense frames so far.
47.
That equates to 88% for Trump. The way in which he lost frame 3.
55.
This is the result.
Back.
63.
.2 years. That red
69.
surely makes tournament 3 years on the bounce, as the great man did in the middle 90s at the UK Championship, if he triumphs today. And barring snookers, Sullivan got back to within a single frame a few times on the other side of this first interval, barring something remarkable here.
Now that the red's gone in, this is strange, not taking a colour. They need even more snookers now, basically. There's one of them. And try and come back refreshed. It's not for everybody, but you know, you can do what you like, basically. If he wants to do it, he can do it.
Infamous meeting with Peter Ebdon at the World Championship way back, when Ebdon slowed to a halt with his average shot time, and O'Sullivan was clearly the reality is, it's been a very... He looks the stronger of the two.
9.
He wants his cup of tea.
Chop 9. 3. Foul. Ronnie-Sullivan, 3, check trump.
First mini session where he has had chances to win. 3-1 is probably a fair reflection of all of this. Very interesting, these 4 frames. Lots of talking points, lots of
11.
good snooker, 1 or 2 errors between the 2 best players around.
11.
I think we can have a break now.
Produced a dazzling one to beat Ali Carter with a 5-frame burst, knocking in all the long balls and the big breaks from 2 frames adrift as he is now. Long way off with that long red.
There's this worry that, you know, being 3-1 down, if you have another poor mini session here, and
this time last year after session 1 to trump. And O'Sullivan certainly put the pressure on in the second half of that final, got back to 8-7 of course.
the right hand red, tiny bit sticking out. Maybe, but he still missed it altogether.
Judge on 4.
Better second time. Referee.
.69 for the 3-1 lead. Two out of three. It's a test of where his game's at. But he's got a lot of work to do to make it happen.
Mid-session interval, and it was become more open. Already is gone.
Nothing wrong with that one though.
1.
Got into the cue ball maybe a bit more than he would have liked.
Judge on 1.
That was the problem with O'Sullivan's shot. He knew he could still leave a red. And
Judge on 1.
And I think in part indicative of just how desperately they both want to win. This rivalry is in the summer. He would love to put one over on the world number 1. That's a good red.
clearly it's not the easiest table.
Currently a shade under 24 seconds. That's 5 seconds down on where he'd normally be, and it was a similar story yesterday in the first half of his match with Carter. At one stage it crept up to 26 seconds,
14.
which is...
I don't think you can argue about his commitment.
Now. Oh, 36.
Just got to move the red below it here, can't help it. Screw in and out of that little area.
43.
Took a risk there, didn't know a great deal about that.
Oh, you heard the reaction. He didn't get close, and having opened the reds up...
Well, he took a risk on the red. Let the cube just freewheel around the table, but it did finish in a slightly... only to tidy the table up for his opponent now, who's got a better chance. Ball's...
Nine. Seventeen.
Just.
Chachang 20.
And now 3 out of 5, and there is another chance that's gone begging. Otherwise this could get ugly.
1. 9.
I was going to say the green looked all around the houses, didn't it? Brown surely is easier. That's the thing about Trump, he pots so many difficult balls, doesn't he, now? To pot another good one here.
23.
The driving seat for the most part.
26.
Fabulous shot. That is a fabulous shot. It wasn't a natural.
With his best break of the final so far, 43, which kind of says it all, really.
But a frame winner.
41 in the frame. Judd Trump.
Judd Trump clears to the pink, and the problems for Ronnie O'Sullivan deepen. 9 the target. Have been, but Trump once again very much on top.
Yes, that confident.
One.
He's found himself having to play catch-up, and he's done it pretty effectively, not least against Selby in that wonderful Crucible semi-final. Of course, went on to comfortably beat Kyron Wilson for his 6th world title. He needs that kind of inspiration now.
14. One.
Like the blue has to go on the
27.
a little bit more. Break he made of 43 was a very hard worked one, but the frame went against him.
Foul.
That will make him enraged.
Sullivan.
Get himself back in the picture. Wow.
No, I had no control over that shot at all.
1.
Once again, O'Sullivan's been derailed a little bit in this frame. When just when he started to, the next thing you look at the tip to make sure it's still on the cue, or most of it's on there. Many a time a tip's been a chunk taken out of it after a miscue. Looks like O'Sullivan's was okay though.
There's been nothing wrong with his long game by and large today. 9 out of 11 is outstanding. 4 out of 5 good for him when he's been trying to construct a break, and then just when it looked as though he was putting that right, the miscue.
The session of snooker has been played with a great intensity, which has not quite been backed up with high scoring. But no one could doubt. Get days like that, the balls will run awkwardly. Something will come along and stop you potting balls.
If he loses it, he's bound to be behind. It's a question of by how much and whether...
Played quite a clever shot there, O'Sullivan. Just knocks in so many of those sort of shots, it's almost like they're hanging over the pocket.
Judd Trump 1.
That's the red he'd quite like to hit, but now quite how he gets there. No, there you have it. Ball safe, anything can happen. And what it has is eventually not cost him anything.
Wow. Trump once again lets O'Sullivan off the hook. He's missed another one, goodness me.
One.
Incredibly hard fought frames.
3 of them have lasted well over 20 minutes. There's a long way to travel in this one yet, as Trump goes in off. Who's had the last word in 4 of the 5.
A couple of very important.
Again, just 26 in front. But nothing fluky about that one. Superbly struck from... It was good enough to have another look.
His bridging hand is a little different. No more frustrations for the spectacle of the final. Clearly, if you're
17.
Judd's camp, then you want him to win it easily. It looks like he might have done had this frame not gone Sullivan's way. Still got a bit of work to do. He needs another red.
Frames we've seen to date, hard going, but it's been won by the looks of things. Sullivan has been looking for. That would be for him. Equally, Trump could be 4 clear, but at least O'Sullivan, barring snookers, has given himself the chance to stay in contention in this 3rd consecutive Northern Ireland Open final between the pair of them. Trump leads 4-2. To look serious at 4-1 down. It was a brilliant red that got him in to finish the frame off. Maybe that will act as a source of inspiration for the remaining 2 frames of this first session. Trump 7 from 12 from long range today.
1.
Brilliant.
That's the one he's immediately played on.
7.
Sullivan has picked it up slightly to nearly 85. But it's been that kind of final so far. The balls have not always the points they have got.
15.
And Trump has been that little bit more adept at doing it, which is why
20.
Maybe he's waiting one. There seems to be a combination of some kind. Top 2 reds. That's perfectly judged. Now, could he play this with pace into the bunch? Oh, he's very, very...
38.
Trump has won 18 ranking titles, but perhaps a relatively barren spell of over a year without a title.
46.
It came against Ronnie O'Sullivan, climax of that final to win, which he did in style, and he's never looked back since. He's doubled his ranking title tally, the world title to his CV.
53.
Brilliant long red, and now this chance. Almost comfortable on the shot, but in it goes.
61.
From the world number 1. Brilliant long red to get in. And although that wasn't clean,
getting up for the red, so it was a
69.
good way of potting it. What's to come this afternoon? This next frame is huge now, with Judd looking to extend.
and now odds on for, he's fought for everything. He scrapped away. Last win for him.
83.
That lead already today, but it could be a whole lot better already at this campaign.
89.
Semi-finalist in the Champion of Champions. He's already
90.
It's a different game to the one we've seen so far. There's a
747 for his career. He moved ahead of Neil Robertson this week in the all-time list.
look at this shot. Look at that for a shot. Play with screw and put the ball very firmly in Ronnie O'Sullivan's court.
17.
It's been a fabulous break.
The other frames have, by and large, been about hard graft. This has just been sublime break building.
22.
As sweetly struck as you can.
100.
Millions at home watching, though, and admiring the skills of Judd Trump, who's underlining just why he is the runaway world #1. What a break that was, a 1-2-8. O'Sullivan surely has to win this 8th and final frame of session 1. The Alex Higgins Trophy at stake. The style of snooker that Judd Trump brings to the table: flair, flamboyance, brilliance. Has he got it in him today to turn it around?
Already a different kind of safety battle this frame. I don't think O'Sullivan's played as badly as some might think today. He's battled hard. He's missed a couple of important shots. But like I say, if he could win this frame, not entirely. Frame to me. They're always easy in a match of this kind, but especially these two. Just drop into the bottom of the bunch. He doesn't particularly want to play it, but it might be that in the absence of any other shot, that's all he can do. Of course, but whenever O'Sullivan has come to the table, there's been high value colours tied up.
The misses with the rest have been costly at times, uncharacteristic as well.
This is a little bit pacey, some of it sticking out. Play it with left hand side to straighten it maybe.
Previous contribution, get himself back into this final.
Probably deserved it.
13.
A couple of balls have gone awkwardly, but this time
Pink much better there, splitting the reds.
Twenty-one.
O'Sullivan has always been extremely adept at.
he was, but he kind of
37.
landed on a red that he didn't know about. The cue ball just drifted down the table. Now, after some very sticky frames in a row.
35.
Needs a good positional shot. And that wasn't it, although he may still be okay.
To say when they go easily, this does not go easily. It will go on off the jaw, I think.
51.
It's a very good shot. Puffed, and then he was on the red. Just didn't want Judd to be disrespected, I think. Opponent does that. Say the little apology for...
56.
Well, things could have gone badly wrong for O'Sullivan there, and going in and out of baulk, but would suffice barring snookers. Easily his best break of the final.
65.
Frame ball.
73.
Yeah, this is a good break. He always felt he needed to get in early in a frame, and judges in this frame are the ones that he didn't really get earlier on.
81.
But it means that tonight will remain very interesting. I think they've got all their out of themselves. I think it'll be more free-flowing now, even though
87.
it could end up close. There's one not to miss from here. The intensity has been there from the start.
$95.
He's going to be facing the same deficit. Judd Trump still has work to do to make it.
112.
Sparkling century just now.
150.
Had he won this frame, victory. But O'Sullivan has come to the party in the nick of time.
$124.
And it could yet be.
100.
What a break this has been. What a way to end the session.
37.
A 137 clearance from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Engrossing stuff.
Good evening, everyone. So here we are again, friends reunited for a third year running the Northern 43. But he responded with a century after Trump made one in frame 7. Just as it was getting good, they had to stop, of course, as the session ended.
Don't see two more attacking players in the game. Although, to say, surprised there wasn't more longer frames than there were with that kind of safety battle. But there's such good long potters as well.
And we saw it at the end of the afternoon. If one ups their game, the other, I think, will follow. We saw that with Trump making a century, then O'Sullivan making one.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
This is a test of cueing. It's that little bit harder by playing it with a bit of screw.
1.
Does the black go? It does. Well, this does go to the green pocket.
9.
Didn't it go? A lot of thought. Covered that red over the corner with the black.
Mini session here. Trump could win it 3-1.
15.
Then he's only one from victory. You feel.
$20.
Trump looking on. Just 2 years, it would be his 11th ranking title in that spell. Including, of course, the world's.
Amazing confidence that he got from winning this tournament.
26.
Best player, many would certainly argue. And he took the confidence from that, of course, beat him in the Masters final.
There isn't many people that enjoys playing O'Sullivan, but I think he
34.
does. O'Sullivan.
42.
Possibly 2.
Switch of hands.
50.
Yeah, it's good that you make. Always worth mentioning.
$58.
Look at the side he had.
Then O'Sullivan needs a snooker. Little cannon.
66.
Punishment. And it started off with a good red, but then a wonderful black.
But he didn't miss it. He's so confident now for the reasons we've explained, all those titles.
74.
And he's eyeing another one here. This is making a sizable break in the opening frame of the night.
$82.
Neil Robertson. And for his career on here, but you wouldn't put it past him. Not to be, but a great start for Trump.
89.
89. Clearly the frame has gone.
Yeah, I don't blame him for playing on.
1.
He's cold.
$9.
And why not?
He's been very careful to tell everybody he's not been practicing at the venue. He's been getting his practice in the matches themselves, 2 of them. Otherwise there might not be an interval.
26.
Played Judd Trump, came back to win 10-9 on the black. We know he's capable, of course he is. He's so used to winning, you know, you can see him pulling away if he gets the chances.
38. 44.
But it was Trump who did the damage
Sullivan.
at 89. 51
Friend of Trump.
from the rocket. But it's Trump's frame, and Trump now... Yeah, balls being knocked in the background. People are practicing for the UK Championship, which starts here in the morning. So that event will start 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And of course,
The red to this right corner. And in it goes. Red to the left corner, but he managed to cover it with the yellow. And what a difference it can make,
Trump will not probably knock it in.
even if you get a good cue ball.
5.
But no, I'm not so sure.
Well, Trump knows all about any shot. Trump made a century to win it. In fact, the same had happened.
Well, the break off, it used to be an advantage. Now I think I'd be scared to death breaking off in a decider.
21.
But normally doesn't leave it to the last red. Trump, if he gets a chance to go into them, as does O'Sullivan, of course. I'll leave an angle on the black. Do I play for the loose reds?
29.
But this shot normally, because he has to play it at pace. Look at that. Now, is he on this red to the right corner? Or does the pink either?
36.
But he could.
Giving it the wise me act, but woes me act. But Trump knocked in a good red to the middle.
$44.
Good cut on the red and getting that cue ball out of baulk, but unless he can get the cannon to the reds from there.
$50.
Wonderful. Trying to miss the pink on the right. Would be a good shot to play, but Sir would full in the face. But doesn't win frames.
Trump
Not
55.
at this level. Just had a look to see how these reds were going to split.
One.
Two reds required.
6.
Title victories.
12.
Like that, I think the interesting thing about the final, apart from the brilliant players involved, is the question, you know, who is snooker's top dog? Is it, at this point, Trump is the one who's been consistent? Sullivan's world champion again. It was Judd Trump the year before, of course. So, I mean, they're all big frames, but the next one really is, isn't it? Because if it goes 8-3, it's going to take something special as Trump tries the thinnest of cuts.
Just from 20. Foul. Ronnie-O'Sullivan 7. One.
He clears up here, doesn't mean anything, it's still Trump's frame.
Ronnie-O'Sullivan 5.
Asked him is because he hasn't practiced much, so he's just using it just to hit a few balls, and if he does get a chance in one of the next frames, he scores heavy.
One thing's for sure, it's made no difference whatsoever to
One. Seven.
Look at that for a shoe ball. Just slightly overhit it.
Ronnie-O'Sullivan 7.
Got here.
Foul. Ronnie-O'Sullivan 7. Free. Twelve.
55, and then from O'Sullivan's misjudged safety did enough to put this frame beyond doubt, so Ronnie O'Sullivan's in.
Ronnie-O'Sullivan 25. Friend Judd Trump.
He's got to try and get in when it matters and do a bit of damage, because Judd Trump is looking very confident, 2 away from the title, leading 7-3. These two players are in a lineage that began with Alex Higgins, the great entertainers. Of course, Jimmy White was next, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Judd Trump as well. Players that we love watching. A lot of people.
And it could cost you the frame. It's close to the cushion. Sometimes it costs you, but certainly a lot easier if it's not touching that cushion or close to it. So somewhere down by the green or by the brown. I'll choose to go over the left side of the table. Oh, found the gap. Right back down the table. And the pink again comes to help trump.
There was a frame earlier where he had two massive flukes, particularly the green, frame 3, and all round the table into the middle. Sullivan, that is.
No, he's... Yep, he knew what was coming. Oh, great shot. Not sure where the cue ball's going. Yeah, decision. Does it play for the black or the blue?
11. $17.
And another there.
So Judd Trump definitely beginning to sense blood in this final.
25.
If this frame goes away from him, then it's looking very, very unlikely he's going to win this tournament. Reds are miles apart.
He addressed it though, didn't he?
So I'm saying, don't leave O'Sullivan an easy starter.
Good shot. Excellent.
1.
Well, I did say at the start, if he can translate the good long potting into break.
Team. 20.
We're going into the Reds romp, but at least he can get to them. Plenty of whiz on the cue ball there. And the ball's just not running for him at the moment.
Sullivan, 33. One.
Yeah, it was well worth a go because look where the cue ball is. It's a safety. Yeah, playing the swerve, but if he catches it too much...
Be great, so that'll keep him honest. No time off at all.
watching this and seeing how their brain works. Yeah, good shot.
1.
And particularly when things are going against him, now he has the chance to win the frame and reduce the gap to 3 again.
Out the right side of the pink to get to the red. Yellow, green and brown. Annoyed with himself.
23.
Should still get to the green from the, but nicely on it.
26.
Would should make it 7-4.
30.
Is a huge one.
35.
Just a feeling I think he's sort of clinging on at the moment.
41.
Minute frame. Longest of the match so far. It's gone to Ronnie O'Sullivan. Back to where we started the evening. We're just 2 in it. If Trump can win it, he's 1 away from the trophy.
Feeling good. Oh, God's feeling under pressure. Oh, taking it to the corner. Cued it well. And to win as much as what they've won, you mentioned Stephen Hendry, and yeah, quite not thinking about what would happen if he missed them. The cue ball low on this next red, so he can open more reds up. Yeah, people had played the shot before, but he actually plays to leave himself like this.
In final, Hendry 57 with the record. Of course, in terms of titles, O'Sullivan.
Yeah, just going to stick up for Hendry a little bit here. He didn't have the amount of tournaments that the boys have got nowadays.
33.
I'm sure he would have won a lot more.
Oh, definitely. If he'd have had this many, he'd have won 56. That was the plan. Got a tour card, wild card, so hopefully we'll see him at some point.
Good pot. And he's on it. Right, he does.
And the yellow's not there.
Right. Missed the red and the cue ball just flew around the table.
1.
Here. He's got a great chance.
16.
can afford to take a blue. But he'd like to be close to it and right behind it.
Judge 37.
— 16 long balls in this final.
Oh, how close was that?
This is a huge one with the interval coming up.
Didn't get into it enough. Oh, great shot. Safety. Thought he was going to attempt the cut.
Lead 7-3. There only looked like one winner, but it was the same in the semis of the World Championship against Selby. He was behind in that third session and looked like resolve has been very, very strong. And the green is in, and surely the frame is his, so it's going to be back to 2 in it.
The 2 going to the interval.
So
That looked like they were sort of petering out. Suddenly things changed.
7 and 3. Plenty of 7.
O'Sullivan is not beating. Sig isn't a trophy they're playing for. It's been on Judd Trump's mantelpiece the last 2 years. Can he complete a hat-trick? He's still in front. It was 7-3. It's now 7-5 breaks, but these two are fighting so hard. Stephen Hendry and Jimmy White contested the World Championship final 1992 to 94.
Problem coming off that right side cushion, landing up into the back of reds. That's not a good safety, caught them too thick. Into the pack of reds and left a chance.
1.
Just drop it in for the red. Here's that left corner. And it's gone in.
But it looked, as you say at first glance, like he wasn't. Now it's up to him to do the damage.
13.
Because it's so easy to miss an easy one. Get
21.
carried away with. It's a massive frame, this.
In recent times, don't get ahead of yourself. His brother and great scenes of celebration, but players aren't allowed guests at the moment. He's in the car. It means he would have won it.
37.
It's because there's plenty that will go.
45.
I have to play for that red behind the black. He doesn't have to. Might just feel. No, he could have been the other side of that red. As I say, it doesn't have to. There's other shots that he could play.
In fact, he's on this one anyway to the left corner, 3 balls away from 8-5.
61.
Well, that was a.
Trump has come out with purpose here. He needs this red. He should be 1 from the title.
Yeah, well, he did get the first chance. He played good safety shots. Fortunately, the red then went into the pack of reds and split them. Final is 1 shot, cost you.
1, O'Sullivan 2. Meeting for the 3rd time in this final. And it's for sure as they've been fighting for every point. O'Sullivan has got to really fight now. He's going to be 3 down with 4 left. Not beyond him by any means, but Trump is looking for 1 more chance potentially in frame 7. And this is a very timely one, isn't it, in frame 13?
We've got the applause.
It's his 9th of the tournament. Of course, he made a maximum in round 2.
101.
If in doubt, just change hands.
Yeah, and he looks comfortable, doesn't he? You know, he gets down to play right-handed, his opposite hand, and he looks so comfortable.
Cut back. Not to be, but 115. Terrific break. On the all-time list on his own at the moment, he's tied with Neil Robertson and Mark Selby.
Back.
1.
Go for that red nearest the left corner. I never see him panic, even when he's
9.
lose if he misses this one or that one. Great bill.
17.
Really want to play cannons going into the reds. But at this moment in time, he'll be thinking about frame.
33.
By potting that one, it releases 2 more into that same pocket. A little too straight on the black.
41.
100,000 for the maximum. Might have been different.
$47.
Let's have to watch this. Jimmy was saying in the interval.
55. $61.
Either. Nicely played.
Plus whatever's left here, but it looks like we're going into another one.
He's asked a lot of questions of himself during this break and answered them all.
82.
He made a 130 in frame 8, which came after Trump's one.
A little wince there, kick that he got. Yes.
Foul. Chip jump 7 on Sullivan.
So the break ends at 93.
Must get a good break off.
Could be over the standard that we're playing at.
And the balls will gradually become open. And it's a nice table. Frame, he caught the angles of that left corner, and it wasn't a good safety shot.
No.
It's not like he's missing. Well, this one's a little easier. I didn't think he could see this one.
17. Different.
So the game's most successful break builder is in again.
But he's going to keep his concentration. Does his miss easy balls? He does do occasionally, but very rarely.
32.
Albeit the Crucible. At 7-3, Trump was a heavy favourite. Can reel frames off in no time at all. The last one was only 8 minutes.
40.
Play for any number of the Reds.
$47. $50.
Chance. Will he get one?
55.
These are now one visit frames.
$58.
Where he plays it, looking at taking the red to the green pocket.
Grain ball, that red.
74.
Sullivan is starting to play some of his best snooker of the day. At exactly the right time, he's missed the black, but surely the frame is his.
I say the same thing. Needs a good break off. And that's not the best. Down the pressure.
1.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
This is the other side of it, isn't it? Digging in, producing your best snooker.
Got some hard frames.
9.
Red there with the positional shot, which he is.
17.
Above and to the right of the black. And he might open more reds up here.
25.
Too high.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 32.
Entry in frame 13.
1.
So
Well,
goods. So let's see how Trump responds.
So not a good shot on the green, really. You can screw directly to the red.
Eight.
Straight on the red. It was an easy shot to leave himself the right angle on the red. Are available.
$19.
He would have liked to have been absolutely straight. Don't think he can hold for the pink.
27.
Well, he switched to right-handed. What a time.
To do.
31.
Now every chance to complete a
39.
hat-trick of Northern Ireland Open titles. A special event, that would be incredible.
Make no mistake about that.
47.
He's got to hold himself together.
Sullivan that we've seen for the last 3 decades at the top level. This frame, because he was bang under it, the way O'Sullivan was coming back at him. He was 7 years of the same player won the same ranking event 3 years running. It's a very rare feat. And he's done it each year, beating Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final.
7. $78.
And suddenly he can rely. Number 19 for Judd Trump. He's 11th in 2 years. It all started at the...
89.
So it's a hat-trick of Northern Ireland Open titles for Judd Trump.
Your winner, collecting the winner's medal, the Alex Higgins Trophy, prize money of £70,000 and the title of 2020 Matchroom Live Northern Ireland Open champion, the ace in the pack, Judd Trump.
Yes, it's another trophy for Judd Trump.